This little thing can cost you up to 5,000 euros nowadays. I paid around 2,000 for it, but it was because it was in Berlin and I kind of learned pretty fast how to drive. And also, I've got a Georgian driving license. Meanwhile, while I was in the process for my German one. So I improved my driving skills significantly while getting Georgian driving license after actually having almost all the process done for the German one. And then when I was taking the exam in Germany, I already had a little bit more of a driving skill than I would have had if I just had German driving license. But we're talking today about how to act if you're a foreigner who is coming to Germany, you're just moving to Germany, and how can you actually get your driving permit here. So first thing that you need to know is that there is a 6-month time frame which we will have still with your driving license valid. So if you're coming, let's say from Georgia, let's take Georgia as an example. If you're a Georgian, you lived in Georgia, or let's say it's me, but I'm not Georgian, but I lived in Georgia and now I'm moving to Germany for the first time and I'm moving to the European Union for the first time. I have 6 months in which I can still use my Georgian driving license after I registered officially in Germany. It's called ordentlicher Wohnsitz in Deutschland, like your real residency in Germany, right? This is what counts, right? Not just like you coming in as a tourist and then living, but you actually registering and getting an address in Germany. So this is the first thing. You'll have 6 months in which you can use your country's driving license here. There is an exception that if you're living right after 12 months, and it's pretty clear, for example, you came for like an exchange year to study in Germany for exactly 1 year, you can apply to exchange the 6-month period up to 1 year, but not longer. And this extension will be granted to you only in case that you can prove that after 12 months you're actually living, like you will be living 100% and you are not staying longer in Germany. If you can prove that, then you will get this extension to 12 months, but regularly it's just 6 months that you can use this. My suggestion is, as soon as you're getting to Germany, check on which list your country is. There are 2 lists, and first list is a clear no. It means if you got, for example, Georgia is this first case. If you got your driving license in Georgia and it's not on the second list, it means that you're not allowed to exchange it without exams. So this is the first case. There are countries that are not on this list. For example, Albania, some categories will not require neither theoretical nor practical tests, but Georgia requires both to pass so that you can get a German driving license. Then there is a second list where Albania is on, for example, and these are the countries that are not required to take practical and theoretical exams for the exchange towards the German driving license. The thing is that this list, I would suggest you to just check this list and see if your country is there. The thing is that this list is very diverse. So some countries or even different United States will have different regulations. For example, one state will require full theory and city examination, like all the exams in Germany, and another state will just require a theory exam, another state will not require any exam. So it depends on interstate organization that the United States have for themselves. So this list is very diversified, while the first list I was talking about, where Georgia is on theoretically, is you just have to take both exams. This other list will mean that you just need to take either one of the exams, or for different categories you will need different types of exams. So on the second list, let me just go through a couple of countries that are there: Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Andorra, Gibraltar, Isle of Man, Japan, Jersey, Kosovo, Moldova, Republic of Moldova, North Macedonia, Monaco, Namibia, New Caledonia, Republic of Korea, New Zealand, San Marino, Switzerland, Serbia, Singapore, South Africa, Taiwan, United Kingdom, and a couple of more countries. Then we have also Australia, like different territories of Australia, different territories of Canada, different territories of United States will have like a little bit different regulations. So if you're from those countries, just check this list for sure. I will link it in the description, or you can DM me and ask me to send this to you if you cannot click the link. But yeah, if you are on that list, then it's pretty easy. You just check which documents you need to provide. Sometimes it's the eye test for them to like see how good you can see. For some others, you will need some specific translations, whatever. But in general, you're lucky if your country is on that list because Germany has bilateral regulations with that country. So if you're on the list like Georgia, where you cannot exchange your driving license directly, still great news. And you are definitely in a beneficial situation if you got your driving license before coming to Germany. If you cannot get it in your country, you can use our service and get one in Georgia because it will save you money and time. Depends on your region in Germany, but definitely time, because if you're already having a driving license, you will be in a so-called Umschreiber-Programm. And this Umschreiber-Programm means that you are exchanging your driving license, basically. But as you already have a driving license, which is like recognized, I mean, there are some countries that will probably not be recognized at all. But if you're in the 6 month and you already have a driving license, you can skip all the theory lessons and all the mandatory driving lessons. My recommendation, as I did both German and Georgian driving licenses, my recommendation is to still take some lessons and not to go directly for the exam, because the way they're driving in Georgia is very different from the way they require you to drive in Germany. So you also have Autobahn and this type of things. You need to know how to drive. So I still recommend you to take lessons, go to a good driving school. If you need a recommendation for an English-speaking driving school, just you can DM me. I have one in Berlin, the one I used. And if you are so just take some classes there in Germany so that you're prepared for the exam. You know what they're expecting from you. And anyways, you need a driving school, a driving instructor to take you in the driving school car to the exam, right? You can probably use your own car, but usually driving schools provide you with a car. And then you take exam. My recommendation from what I've heard from my driving license teachers in Germany is that many Umschreiber, like exchangers, how they call them, they are too arrogant. They're too like, yeah, I'm such a good driver. I've been driving for 10 years. And then they just go directly for the exam too early. And then they fail. And they have to retake and retake and retake. And like at one point, they're spending more than they would have spent just for classes to prepare properly. So if you are on this other list, let's say with the Georgian driving license, you're saving your time for theory classes. You're saving your time for all the mandatory classes in Germany that in some regions like Bavaria or Baden-Württemberg could get pretty expensive. It's like up to 100 euros for hour of driving, or like in Bavaria even more. And like those special required drives, like the Autobahn, the highway drive, the night drive, the let's say this drive around the city, like outside on the smaller village roads. This can cost you up to 1,000 euros just for those that you're like required to take. So the strategy, just to sum it up, as soon as you come to Germany, just check for the list your country is on. If you're on the list where you are not required to take an exam, perfect, congrats to you, that's amazing. Just go and exchange and like check which documents you take. If you're on the list where you need to exchange, even before coming to Germany, you could come and use our service in Georgia, get your driving license in Georgia, and in like, let's say 1, 2, 3 weeks, if you already know how to drive, around 1 week. And then in Germany, go to driving school, tell them I have a Georgian driving license, and they will put you on Umschreiber-Programm, and they will help this exchanger program, and they will help you with the help of some classes to get your driving license in Germany, like basically to exchange the Georgian one to the German one. And if you exchange it to a German one, you can use it everywhere in the European Union, because this was basically the hardest check, the hardest driving license check. In difference to Ireland, for example, in Ireland, Georgia is now on the exchange list, so you don't need to take any exams. You don't need to take theory exam, you don't need to take practical exam. But if you exchange it in Ireland, it will have a mark that it was exchanged from the Georgian one, and you will need to you cannot drive with it in Germany, because as you see, the requirement in Germany is higher based on their internal regulations than in Ireland to exchange, and the Georgian driving license is not on their exchange list. So yeah, if you need support in that, let us know. It will definitely increase your speed and reduce you some costs from the German driving license getting it there. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.